But Shaun, a very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Africa at Play.
I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much. Let's just start by educating our listeners when talking Q Sports. What are we talking about, as there's different categories to it?
So most people will know it as what you do in the bar while you're having a drink, but it's actually a professional sport. You get different forms of Q sport, but I specialize, I would say, in what we call Blackball on the 7-foot table.
And let's talk about what you specialize on, Blackball. Why did you go with it?
So I suppose it was what I was exposed to at a young age. So I just continued playing Blackball, but I am not close to the other Q sports. I'd like to maybe one day experiment a little bit, but Blackball is what I am playing currently.
You've been in the game for a number of years. We're talking a decade and a year, 21 full years. How did you meet the sport?
So I actually started playing pool at a pool shop in the area I grew up in, over here in Cape Town, Mitchell's Plain. And I just did it for fun, really. And I started playing for a club. And even then, I wasn't really taking it seriously until I made the Western Cape team for the first time. And that's when I knew that this is going to become serious. I then broke into the South African team, and here I am today.
You also have an exciting nickname, the Jaguar. How did it come about?
That's a funny story. So as a young kid, I looked up to a guy who's still around. He's a pool player from Cape Town called Yazid Sali. And when he would play his shot, he would kind of frown, and it looked like a jaguar. So because my peers at the time knew that I idolized this guy, they started calling me the Jaguar because I used to call him the Jaguar.
And Shaun, let's talk about that, because sometimes you start by idolizing someone and now you've got to play against them and you want to beat them. Just talk to us about that moment where you know that this is one of the best in the game, but you're also not writing yourself out. You also want to be counted amongst the best that you are today. But it takes resilience and courage of wanting to challenge someone who's already on an elite level in terms of winning championships. But you know you also have it. It's just a matter of time before you overtake them. Talk to us about that process.
That's a very profound question, and I'm glad that you asked it. So way back in 2010, I was only 18 years old when I got to face my idol at the time for the very first time. And it's important for you to not get carried away by the opposition ever. But of course, it's not easy when you're playing someone that you really admire. So you need to find the balance of having respect for him, but also still believing in your ability. So as an 18-year-old, back then, I needed to hold myself together, and I eventually got the win over him. And it didn't change the way I saw him at all. In fact, when I saw how humble he was in defeat, it just enhanced my admiration for him. And that's also a lesson that can be taught to the youngsters. It is that you need to take the wins the same, or you need to take the losses the same way you take the wins.
Do you ever get intimidated prior to a Blackball match?
Oh, absolutely. I think that is a universal problem that us sportsmen face. It is that it's so easy for you to lose the match before it even starts. And I never underestimate the mental side of the game, because I believe that all of us has got a very similar level in terms of skill, but most matches are win or lost up here. So it's important to do what works for you, whether it be listening to your favorite genre of music before a big game, reading a book, or just getting on a phone call with friends or family. Find what relaxes you.
I can see you are currently driving. You're supposed to be busy with a Blackball match. Where are you heading to?
So I'm actually parked right outside of the venue right now. I've got pool players walking around the car. They can see me on the phone, probably wondering what's going on over here. But I'm currently at a tournament representing my local club called Mushroom Men. they are playing at the moment, and I hope they're doing okay over there. But I'm also happy to be here.
Surely they're just missing you. You are the missing link so that the team can come out victors come the end of the tournament today. Monday to Sunday, how often do you play?
Honestly, if you asked me this question about 10 years ago, I would say 5 days a week. But I don't play that often anymore. I'd be lucky to play twice a week, and that is just because I'm busy with work and with family and some other stuff at the moment. But I do try and put in some more time ahead of big tournaments, and we've got the South African Championships coming up in a month, which will be held in Durban Suncoast Casino. So I better get in some hours before then.
How did you get crowned the All-African Men's Blackball champion?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. It was never the expectation. I wanted to attend the All Africa so badly, just to be part of the South African team and ensure that the crown comes home. And our team did that. We beat Tanzania in the men's team final, and I was really satisfied with that result. But I had to play the singles final later that day, and I went in there with zero expectations because I've come close so many times. I know what heartbreak feels like. I've been there. I've done that. I've got the T-shirts because it's happened quite a number of times where people would expect me to win, and I would lose to myself because of pressure, just choking in the big moments. So with this final, like I said, I had zero expectations. It wasn't about winning. It was this time just about remaining calm. And I have a lot of people to thank for that. I managed to get through the match, not thinking too much, not over-analyzing. But I'm glad I got there at the end.
Let's not keep the champion for long because he's got a tournament at his doorstep that he needs to attend to and get to see other opponents that he will be facing in this tournament. It is always important to have that moment prior to the real stage where competition becomes emotional and tension keeps growing even higher. We are talking to the Jaguar, that is Shaun Martheze, who is the 2026 All-African Men's Blackball champion and is currently at the doorstep of a tournament that is taking place where he will be representing his team. Shaun, thank you so much for talking to us on Africa at Play. All the best. I know you are going to walk out a victor.
It's a pleasure. Do you mind if in closing I can just give a quick shout out?
Please go for it.
I would just like to give a shout out to my sponsors who's assisted me over the last year or two. That would be My Day Brands, Escape, Pool Club, Sikasa, and now Dominator Qs. You guys have really supported me. But over and above that, just my family, my wife, my parents, and everyone who's been a part of the journey. You guys have been there for the heartache, for the sad moments. But we finally did it, and it's not done. The journey has just begun. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you indeed. You see, sport as a business, you need the sponsors to come on board, even if you are talented, but that extra assistance, especially financially, with hectic traveling on board, being able to travel to different destinations and being your best on the day and not worrying about debit orders. Thank you so much, the Jaguar.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.